everyone is here today. Seth down in there working on the floorboard. Lucas is working on...
Trying to do light bulbs.
I'm trying to do light bulbs and fixtures and stuff, but apparently all because the number says it's the correct number doesn't mean it's the right freaking bulb!
Well, there's that.
Yeah. So hopefully the Impala works better.
Just here.
Here till after work.
Yep. Some things you guys have missed off camera. I got the brake pedal mounted correctly now, where it doesn't do the floppy thing and actually pushes things. We discovered that the master cylinder is junk. We committed some atrocities to the header again. That's going to need some more modifying, but you can now get a spark plug wire and socket on that plug. Same over here, but not quite as hateful. So yeah, those are all things we've done. Put it over here. Seth is attempting to make the floor pan not have a big hole in it now.
Although I'm a big fan of the big hole.
You're the one complaining about the big hole.
Yeah, this big hole I'm okay with. Because I don't want to patch it.
I also picked up some seats for the Impala, so that's something in the near future. And we've discovered that the front springs on this are like, for an F450 or something, the front end of this thing has zero flex to it at all. But, you know, we have this Impala setting over here that is getting air ride, and the spring dimensions for this Impala and this Galaxie are basically the same. So I think a Galaxie is getting Impala springs whenever we get around to pulling them out. So that'll be a thing. That's not this video, I don't think. It might be before it's all said and done. I can't tell you what all's going to have in this video. I think the goal is the floor pan, and since we have the stuff to do the brakes, is sitting back over there behind her, is everything to do at least the front brakes and maybe the rear wheel cylinders. I can't remember if I ordered those or not. I don't think I ordered those. I think it's everything to get the front brakes working, and then seeing where we're at with the rear brakes. Okay. So, I'm bringing you guys back for a second. The master cylinder was wrong. I set you guys up to start recording that to figure that out. So, waiting for 2 o'clock for that to show up. Progress has been made in here. We're working on welding this solid and getting all this done. So, it ain't gonna be pretty, but it'll be functional. And that's all we're worried about, right, Lucas?
That's all we're worried about.
We're worried about function.
You guys are doing way too much for this thing.
Oh, no, we're not. We're doing exactly what's needed.
I just need to figure out how to put that flame basket in somewhere and make it look pretty.
We got it mounted upside down.
That's the only thing I care about. The whole rest of the car can look like rotted POS. I just want that.
I want that speaker to look pretty.
Yeah.
Don't put anything in that corner.
Oh, don't plan on it.
Okay.
You're gonna hate me in a second.
Up in there is where the fuel. You keep that fucking thing away from me.
I'm gonna hollow out the hole for the 6x9 over there, and there's gonna be all sorts of shavings right in that corner that you're just telling me not to put anything.
You better clean it. Because every time that thing turns on, I lose my hands. I hate you.
I approve it. Seth approved.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for putting the Steve Likes This sticker on my toolbox. Guess what my daughter was mad she couldn't have one of? She wants the pretty rainbow sticker. That's awesome. And when I told her we didn't have any more of them, she was mad. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm going to set you guys up to where you can see something. Try to record something.
Put the tripod back.
haven't given up on filming, but there's no good view of this, and it's crappy body work, so it's like no one cares. But that's what's left of the transmission tunnel hole. That's the goal is to get this done. I think maybe Seth's gonna work on this tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, we get that done. Then 2 o'clock is when my other parts show up, and we have agreed we need to do something about this header, because that's just, we've all seen the Engine Masters episode where they crimped one almost completely off and it still, you know, made the same horsepower. But we can all agree that pipe being that thick is it's not going to flow well. So what I'm going to do is cut the bottom of it out and basically put an indent down to open up the size of the header again. Is it going to flow great? No. But is it going to work? Yes. So one day we might make another set and make them look pretty, but that day is not today. So, yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to cut that back tube and just kick it over a little bit. So.
Oh! I didn't
Yeah.
realize we were recording.
You're all good. I could barely hear the music over the shop back. Huh?
That was hella copyrighted music.
Oh, it might be, but he can take a lot of the background sound out.
Okay.
Well, you should be able to. If not, it'll be fine. It's not like we're monetized.
Yeah.
So. But, yeah, this one, while not great, isn't nearly as bad as the other side, so. Again, one day, we've already discussed it, we're probably going to make new headers. Especially now that we kind of know what we're doing. I mean, I'm going to say know what we're doing very loosely. We have an idea of the way we should do things. So, right, Seth?
Sure.
See, Seth agrees. So.
I disagree. If it's about the header, I don't agree on what you did.
Yeah,
I
but
saw
we now.
that and freaked the fuck out.
Why?
Because it looks bad.
Well, yeah, it does, but we can make it better.
Sure.
Hater. I would have loved for you to been here to come up with a better idea. To be honest with you,
I had a better idea.
which was.
Well, first of all, you would have probably liked it because of the amount of welding it would have taken.
If you were going to say cut the tube completely off,
I was going to say completely off. I was going to say about here, and then honestly, fucking just come down a little and go that way.
Yeah, that's what me and him were
into
talking
it.
about. That's what we should have done.
Yes.
Like, but that's another thing where it would have been easier before everything was fully welded.
For the purpose of our current goals of just run, drive, stop, it's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, what we should have done in the beginning was check that. We could have literally just had it. We could have pie cut it, bent the tube back, and then extended just that one tube.
Yeah.
And that would have made it fit.
Yeah, we should have just tack welded it all together and threw it on the car. Yeah, I agree. But we didn't do that, and now it's a nightmare to go back and try to solve that problem. So, no, what we really should have done is buy one of the build your own header kits. And then did it that way.
Those are for quitter.
That'll be a couple years in the future.
Yeah, that's definitely future us is going to do that. These, I can open that tube up enough to where it's going to work by just adding a fucking bump out in it and call it a day. So, it'll be fine. Will it be the prettiest thing ever? No, but it'll work. So, and if we've already agreed, these primary tubes aren't really big enough for this engine anyway.
Yeah, so let's make them smaller. That's what I was thinking when I saw it.
So,
That's great.
that's why I said I'm going to go get another piece of tube so I can, you know, make it bigger. He is so picky.
Who, me?
Him.
Him?
Him.
I mean, he's work.
So,
A craftsman is what a craftsman do.
I mean, I shouldn't even have to tell him to just not look at it, but here we are.
I'll make sure Kibble says how.
You keep Kibble and his bits out of this, okay? I don't think that was on camera last time. We ain't gonna go there.
No, that wasn't on camera, no.
What?
Nothing. We're not worried about it.
Doesn't, yeah. If you guys haven't picked up at this point,
You're talking about his neighbors. I left that in.
Yeah, the neighbors are funny. Kurt, we're not going into it.
oh no, now we're going into it because
going
you
into
know we're going into it.
We're not going into it.
Listen here, furry, we're going into it.
No, we're not. You're not putting that on your camera.
So, Lucas does a very specific type of streaming, and I don't hold it against him. Well, okay, maybe I do a little bit, but mainly for the purposes of just giving him shit.
I never should have came here.
So,
I never should have came here.
I never should have come here. So,
Yeah, this weather seal has definitely seen
but
some better days.
yeah, it has. Although, you know what? It probably still seals up better than not having it there at all. Well, maybe not. That is kind of hard.
I can still buy the weather seal, so and
Yeah,
it's cheap.
that's fair.
The trunk seal's like $30 on the expensive website.
That's a lot for a $15 seal.
Right.
All right. Back to our regular scheduled chaos. Seth is trying like hell to finish filling this hole in before he's got to leave. So it's a mix of him trying to fill it in before he's got to leave, and a mix of him trying to fill it in before I decide to start breaking out scooters because the weather's even mildly okay. Well, we are back for day 2. I've got this figured out in probably not the best way ever, but we can't get the exact match replacement for the one that was on it. At least O'Reilly's couldn't get it, at least anytime soon, that we could find. And the only difference between this one and the one that was on it was the fitting sizes. So I could do this with one adapter if I could have found the right adapter. I couldn't find the right adapter. Found 2 that I could work together. That'll do for now. Because honestly, we might get halfway through this and find out that we need to run new brake lines too. We don't know yet. So I don't want to get carried away like cutting that and putting a new fitting on and all this stuff just to find out, hey, these lines are junk anyway. So we're just doing what we got to do for now. If this ends up being the right thing in the right way, we'll probably go through the effort of putting new fittings on to make it match. So, but basically everything else about that seems to be the same. The depth is the same. It's for a power brake system with the rear being the front and the front being the rear. The setup the same way. It's the same thing. Just for whatever reason, Ford put different fitting sizes on that one than they did the other ones. I don't know. Fucking Ford. So, we're going to bench bleed that here in a minute, and I'm waiting for Seth to get here. He's on his way over. In the meantime, off camera, I went ahead and bench bled the master cylinder. Still waiting for Seth. I don't know what's taking him so long. But, yeah. So that's done and ready to go. I'll get ready to get that bolted on the car. And start... I don't know if I want to hook the brake lines up yet, or if I want to hold off on them until I pull the front calipers off. Yeah, because it's one of the... I'm probably going to hold off, pull the front calipers off. I think maybe the goal is to pull the drums off, or pull the rotors off today as well, and get them resurfaced. We're going to see what they look like once we get the wheels off. But yeah, I know Seth is going to be working on some stuff in here. I think his goal today is to get the center console mounted and start figuring out where the shifter needs to go through the floor. Yeah, I think that's his goal. I could be wrong. I'll find out when he gets here. Speak of the devil. There he would be right there. No. Hi. How doing?
What?
How doing?
Actually, it runs way better than it ever has.
It's probably been the distributor the whole time then.
It was definitely timing too.
Oh yeah, I'm
There's
sure
a
that
mixture
was
of
part of it.
everything.
Yeah, but
Basically, every time I touch something, I fucking repair it on this car.
yeah,
This is the Camaro in Toyota form.
pretty much.
You want to take her for a ride?
Nah,
Huh?
no, not right now.
Oh, come on. We gotta give me a battery at some point.
I know.
The Ramblers is still in here.
I'm waiting to see if the cop stopping in the alley about 15 minutes ago amounts to anything. So we'll go from there.
Everything.
Cause like they stopped in the alley. I was like looking at the backyard, and then
Look at this backyard.
yeah, well they were looking back there, and then they saw me walk out and they started going. I looked at them, went, and they just kind of waved and kept going. Stopped at the stop sign, and was sitting there for another like 3-4 minutes.
Oh, is that what you messaged me about?
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't leave my keys and stuff in the car. I need this.
But-
My hair's a mess.
So yeah, we're gonna see what that's about. But in the meantime, I hooked the leak detector to that to find out the only place I seemingly had a leak was where I hooked it up at. As in the hose was like super loose on the fitting right there, literally.
That's what you want.
And it now has at least good front brakes.
That.
I definitely didn't just pin off the back brakes and bleed the system
I
again.
think that might be the IAC valve.
It's a possibility.
Because when it warms up, it drops to below 1K and idles right.
Yeah.
But while it's cold, it will idle at $2,000.
When it's cold, it should idle higher.
Yeah,
Not
but
quite
not
two.
that high.
Not quite $2,000. It should idle about 1,500.
Yeah, it's idling.
So it's idling a little high, but not extremely crazy.
That's why I think it's just sticking open
Yeah.
a little too far.
I want to see how this thing starts back up now too. See if it idles itself down quicker.
I moved everything out of the driveway and I was like, watch, the one doesn't start now itself.
Oh, probably. Still the same. So
That make it shoot off like a shotgun as soon as the cops come back.
So, we went and did some running. It now has a battery. Lucas has got a radio back there. I'm not going to show you him because all you're going to see is his ass. And the fuel tank has a fitting. It now has a return line option. So, probably not the best return line option, but is a return line option nonetheless. So that means now we can plumb the car to do gas things. Yeah, I'm just kind of hopping all over at this point because, like, I needed to let the ADHD kind of run amok for a minute and calm my head down. Before I moved on to the things I want to move on to, which is going to be pulling the front wheels and tires off so I can get to those rotors, calipers, pull the calipers off, probably rebuild them, and it just touches. You can hear it just touch. So, yeah, I'm going to pull all that apart, get those rotors cleaned up, get all the rest of that stuff swapped out. I think that's what we're going to go ahead and, that's what I'm going to work on now. Seth went to go get new tie downs for his battery because, well, he decided that he didn't want to keep the battery from the Rambler in it and wanted it to have its own battery again because it's now running and driving. That poor thing right before winter just completely crapped out on him. He has changed the fuel pump. He's done a full tune-up on it, did a timing job on it. To finally discover, because in this entire time, mind you, he had spark, so that's why he thought it was a fuel problem. And then thought maybe it was just a timing problem. He went through and checked all the spark on all the spark plugs. 2 of them had really good spark, 2 of them had really, really bad spark. And it would pop and cough every once in a while, but it would never actually start. He figured out that we don't know exactly what in the old distributor was wrong, but something was wrong in the old distributor because, like, the cam sensor, I think is what it was, the coil, everything was built into the old distributor. So it was just not working. And then he said the coil basically fell apart when he took the old distributor out. So we think maybe the coil was the problem, but at the same time, that doesn't really make sense on why 2 of them were really strong and 2 of them were really weak. So, yeah, either way, it's now a running thing again. So, seems to be running really well. For those of you that don't know, that is actually my old Celica. And it was the Celica that was the namesake of the channel for a little while, for Kurt 95 GT. That was the Celica I had when I was on 6gc.net. That was not my original V6 swap, but to a point it was one of my best built V6 cars until I stripped it apart to build the convertible. And to date, it is still the Celica that everyone knows me for, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Not many people know the Vert. The Vert they think is that car, and I just painted it black. But it's not the case.
No, you just pulled the fender off, moved it to that car.
That's an understatement here. The fender, the transmission, the suspension, the wheels and tires, half the interior.
Yeah, but as far as the looks of the car...
Oh, the entire body kit came off of that car, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is my convertible, prior to my convertible. So, yeah. All right, enough of that. So those were really confusing to get apart, but after we figured it out, got them apart, I took the rotors off. They're up at O'Reilly's right now getting turned. Lucas left a little bit ago. We have already, I don't know what I did with it. It's right there. We already rebuilt that caliper. We're going to rebuild this one, and I'll make sure I rebuild this one on camera, so I actually show us doing something today.
Those Valley wheels would look real good on a Toyota Celica.
I know they would, wouldn't they? Yeah. Is that a hint on something you'd like to do today?
Yeah, actually it is.
Yeah.
I may or may not have almost wrecked my Celica into your shed.
Oh.
I started it just to make sure it was still running because I'm still apprehensive. And forgot that it was in gear and just let off the clutch and almost launched it directly into your fucking shed and then hit the clutch really fast, but it still rolled forward. I backed it back up. I started laughing hysterically after I did that.
Why were you? Okay, I know why you were behind the shed, but never mind.
Here's the thing, too, is I couldn't hit the brake right away because...
It's all the same foot.
No. I had this foot outside the car, only this one in with the clutch.
What did we learn? Nothing.
I'm driving automatics most of the time.
Dumbass.
Oh, sure. That's fine.
And on that note, we're going to go get lunch. When I come back, we'll have rotors. We'll start putting things together. And he's going to finally maybe do something to help in here instead of spending 2 hours putting a battery in that.
Okay, first of all...
So, Seth, how much have we got done today?
Everything that we wanted to do.
Yeah? Are those the words we're going to go with?
I mean, everything I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. Cool. What did we get done on the Galaxie? Yeah. So, the Galaxie, where did we put them? There's one of the rotors. I think the other one's still sitting in the car. Got the rotors turned. I got that brake caliper rebuilt. I haven't touched the other one yet. Because we went full ADHD and forgot to film anything. There is now a tank mounted in the car. And then, if you look way up there, there's the low pressure fuel pump that's going to feed the surge tank. So, and the surge tank is going to go, we believe, right there. We think that's going to be the home for it. Seems like the smartest place we can figure out. So to explain this fuel system to you guys, I'm going to go over here to the board. So here is the big main tank. Here is the surge tank. Here is the engine. So there's going to be, you got your inlet and return from there, and you've got an inlet and return from here. This being the front of the surge tank. So right here, we're going to come out into a low pressure fuel pump, into the feed, and then it's going to return to this tank. Then, out of this surge tank, I have a return and another feed. This feed is going to feed a high pressure pump that feeds the engine, and there's going to be a return off of the engine to the surge tank. And the reason why we're doing this is because this tank is for a carbureted engine. So there's no baffling or anything inside. It is very prone to fuel slosh once you get below about, a half tank. So feeding this pump from this tank gets hard. But this has time for that fuel slosh to happen, and this at 30 gallons per hour can keep this full to feed this pump to keep this engine running at 55 psi. That is what we're doing. Does it add complication to the fuel system? Yes. But the extra cost of adding the second pump, the extra lines, is less than what it would cost, and this is with replacing the entire fuel system. So a new main tank, a new surge tank, a new low pressure pump, and a new high pressure pump, and the lines, and everything is less than just the cost of a fuel injection tank for this car. So we're gonna have, I think, $350 ish, maybe less, in the whole fuel system for this car. If we were going to get like one of the fancy like Tanks Inc. tanks that's set up for fuel injection and has the tank and the pump and all that stuff, we're looking at $800 to $1,200 just for that setup. So, no. Going back to the whole fuel tank thing. Personally, from what I have found, those fancy, expensive Tank Inc. tanks that are made for drop-in fuel pumps and everything, not worth it. It's what I have in here. Guess what I still have a problem with? The moment I get down to all just below half a tank, still have fuel slosh issues. $800 setup, completely useless. I'd be better off if I would have had a stock pump with a surge tank. So that's what we're doing on this. It keeps it cheap. We're going to do the same thing on the Impala, but with the way I kind of plan to drive the Impala, we're going with a slightly bigger surge tank and probably a slightly bigger feed pump. Because, well, the Impala is going to have more engine, and, I plan on driving it a lot harder than he plans to drive this. So, yeah, it'll be fine. So, yeah, that's what we've gotten done for the night. We've all been in a mood today and have not had the motivation per se, or really the patience to do anything with this thing this week. So I got a feeling this was the only day we really had. We're going to come back next week and actually get some work done. So I know I've told you guys in the past where whatever we film for the week we get to work is what you guys are going to get. Not quite the same on this one because we didn't get anything done. So if we would have filmed everything we did with his car, we could have filmed the 3 hours it took to change wheels and tires and put a battery in it. Because that's kind of the way the day went. Right, Seth?
Yeah. I need help.
Alright, guess I gotta go help him put a tire on.
Alright. We got these rotors resurfaced the other day. Kurt is not here because I wasted way too much time yesterday and I feel bad. So I'm going to go ahead and just re-grease these bearings. I already did that side. That side's already put back together. I want to make sure I was getting what I needed sorted. So I did that side first with the rotor. Now I'm going to do this side. We're reusing the bearings. We're reusing the seal. Everything looks new. Even these rotors aren't that bad. Honestly, I think someone did full brakes on this car right before it was parked 20 years ago. So that's my assumption on that. The pitting on the rotor had just gotten bad, but even like when we took apart put new seals inside of the calipers, they weren't even that bad inside. So this stuff was fairly new at some point. And we're trying to save a little money, so we're gonna reuse what we got because it's still good. And I'm gonna start. I already cleaned all the metal shavings out from the resurfacing. Now I'm going to gladly pack these bearings by hand because it's so much fun and not messy at all. adjusted, bearings in there. It's good and tight. Should be good to go. I just gotta put the rotor pads, caliper, and all that, which I'm probably more than likely going to wait for Kurt to get here for, which shouldn't be too much longer, because I didn't take this apart and I don't know how it goes together, so winning. I guess we'll come back then. Alright, I figured it out. It is very weird brakes, but I found out how it works. This guy slots up into here, and then this is like a pin that slides through the bottom to match up with that and lock it in place, which it does not sit very well, but then proceeds to allow a bolt to go in down here, right in one of these holes, and hold it, and then the caliper slides on that, and then you pull that pin out and you can pull everything out. So I just kind of stared at it for a while until I kind of got it. So I'm going to finish cleaning up. I've cleaned up all the parts except for this caliper. That side is together, figured it out over there. So I'm just going to put the pads on and maybe start on the rubber lines too. Kurt's still out here, just kind of rolling with things until they're done. So we'll see. Yay.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so now we just got to do the bleedy, breaky.
Do you want to press the
bleed
pedal or bleed the bleedy bleeds? You have better eyes to see the bubbles.
This is fair, I do. All right, we have brakes.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, you coated the tiny hammer.
I did coat the tiny hammer. I am sorry.
I actually used it for the wheel seals on the back, even though you weren't here. So I hope that's enough penance for you.
Seth feels bad because, as you can see, I'm in my work clothes. We're doing this on a day that I don't have off because someone spent half of our day messing with wheels and tires we said we weren't going to mess with, and a
Someone
battery.
else spent half the day. The battery we knew about, though.
Yeah.
We just didn't anticipate
Taking as long as it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we could have worked around Lucas. It was just, yeah.
Well, we still got stuff done. I mean, we got the floor done. We got the brakes done.
Yep, we got the floor done.
We just need to cut a hole for a shifter and put a brake or a gas pedal in it for it to drive and finish the fuel system.
Yep.
What are we doing for gas pedal, by the way?
Wherever the stock one is, we're going to put it back in and I'm going to make it work.
Oh, because I was going to say, isn't that one, whatchamacallit, fucking rod driven, not cable driven?
Yes, but we can modify it to work with a cable.
I didn't know if you were just going to buy like a GM cable pedal and bolt it to the firewall.
I wish I knew where it was at the moment. I think it's up here in the bag. Yeah, it's up here in the bag. So
I'm so proud of you reaching it. Yeah, I put it in the bag, but
I bought one. What we can do
is cut it.
Is it's meant to like a bolt-on style or a pin-in style instead of the normal GM style. What we're going to do is it'll just slide between these ears, and we'll put a pin through all four of the ears.
I don't know.
You know.
It would be nice to have both because they match all the pedals.
Yes, that's why I kind of want to go with that pedal because it already matches what's in the car. So.
We need to do something about the Ramblers at some point too. My hat. I'm gonna leave that here again.
Right. But.
My crate.
So, sorry you guys haven't seen a lot of actual work this video, but we got work done. It's just it was all things that were really hard to record. Like, we can only record inside of a wheel well so well given our sizes. And you can only see so much of us installing a gas tank. So, what'd you do now? The curse of your tool. So, his burr bit, or whatever you want to call the thing,
Carbide burr.
his carbide burr bit for his for his die grinder.
For the Dremel, actually. The
Yeah.
die grinder ones aren't as bad because
Yeah.
they're bigger.
Yeah. Makes such small shavings that it basically has turned my garage into a pit of hell. Because everything you touch has this fine layer of very sharp metal laying on it that you get it into your finger, and I have not been able to get it out with anything other than literally ripping a hole in my finger with a pair of tweezers. All right, now that we've rambled for forever,
End of the day.
yeah, probably that was 10 minutes of footage, and there's probably a solid 4 minutes of it that was usable. But that's all you guys are going to get to see this week. Like we said, we're trying to keep it to where what we get done is what we get done. The video goes out. So that's where we're at this week, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say we got 2 days off together next week, kind of 2.5, depending on how we do Friday. Well, yeah. So,
And
Yeah.
then we technically have another 2 days next weekend.
yeah, but that's your birthday. We're not working
Only
on.
Sunday is.
Okay, well, we're not working on the car on Sunday.
Man, we can still.
So,
What else do I do for fun? This is it.
well, that's
It's the only
fair.
reason I'm good
Well,
at
we're
this.
only working on it on your birthday if you want to work on it on your birthday.
If it's not running by next weekend, by like fuel lines and wiring put into
Yeah.
it, we should
I
try
think I'm going to buy
run
some
it
90-degree AN fittings, so that way.
and try to get it at least close enough where we, like, say if Saturday we work on it and it ain't running, try on my birthday to get it running just for funsies.
All right,
And go out to eat.
I can agree with that. Yeah, 'cause I think she works. I think she works closing, so we might not be able to go out to eat till like 9:30.
That'd be fine.
So yeah, like a late dinner anyway.
Yeah.
But, all right, see you guys next time. Bye.